The VA gives veterans the answers to the test when it comes to VA disability claims and VA ratings. And there's really going to be two things I'm going to cover here. These are really, really big issues. So first off is knowing the proper VA rating that your symptoms deserve. Okay. And number two, which is arguably more important, is speaking to the C&P examiner, because the proper rating does not matter if you were denied and not service connected. So what I'm going to do is walk you through by the numbers how to determine your correct rating. So this is the world's most mediocre website, CIVDivonline.com. We're going to skip that here and go to our friend Gunny Google. Okay. There's Gunny Google. Bada bing, bada boom. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at migraines. If I want to know how migraines are rated, migraines 38 CFR, ECFR. I'm putting migraines here, but you can put in mental health, IBS, lower back, flat feet, whatever it is you want to search up, you can do that. I'm going to use migraines here as an example. You're looking for the ECFR length. This is hands down the best. Now, this one right here, the Legal Information Institute, that's not bad, but this is the source right here, ecfr.gov. That's where you go. We're going to click that, and here you go. This is the neurological conditions and convulsive disorders. That's where migraines are at. Now, if you see the scroll bar, this thing is huge. And I don't expect you to read all of it. So all you have to do is hit Control F. You can't see it right now, but I did hit Control F. I'm going to search up migraine. And then there's one right there. That's not what I want. I'm going to click next, and boom, just like that, I found how migraines are rated. So food for thought, we have 50, 30, 10, and 0. And we see this word prostrating, however you want to say that. People like to assume this is only for 50, but it is the same for 10 and 30. Meaning a headache is just a headache. Take some Tylenol, you'll be okay. A prostrating migraine is so bad that your day is over. There are preventative treatments. And by the way, I have a live stream with a representative from the GammaCore here. It's essentially you take this thing off, put it on your neck, and it's a very invasive preventative treatment. It can also target onset migraines as well. This is what I use. More info on that coming up. But then you have pills like sumatriptan. This is an old prescription because when I take a sumatriptan, I absolutely am knocked out. 100%. There's nothing I'm doing that day. If I take a sumatriptan, I'm going to bed in about 30 minutes. Anyways, so there's other forms of migraines, but the 38 CFR asking Gunny Google what's going on is absolutely something that you can use for any claims or VA ratings. Now, most importantly, let's talk about C&P exams, because if you're denied, I don't care how often you're using GammaCore, I don't care how many sumatriptan you're taking, the VA will concede on the current diagnosis, sure, but if you're denied, you're not going to get any rating. So how do you speak to a C&P examiner? And listen, feelings do not matter, okay? My migraines affect my day. Okay, well, if we go back to 38 CFR, where does migraines affecting your day come into play here? It doesn't. Really, when you look at debilitating lifestyle stuff, you'll see that with mental health. That matters. Not so much migraines outside of the prostrating fact there, maybe lower back pain. It'll be based on range of motion, right? So you want to make sure you're communicating the right things when it comes to symptoms. Furthermore, hey, talk to me about your migraines. Instead of saying, I get headaches and migraines here and there, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. That's okay, but you're really going to have a stellar C&P examiner with some amazing evidence for them to come up with the conclusion of service connection. Here's how I would answer that question, okay? And I'm going to make this up right now. Hey, tell me about your migraines. I would say, well, in 2012, see, I'm using a time frame there from service. In 2012, after I came back from my first deployment to Afghan, I really started having migraines. I do have a complaint in my medical records From then, my evidence or my medical records is pretty empty. I took constantly going to the doc and asking for Tylenol. I bought some over-the-counter medication at the PX, blah, 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 blah. I left the Marine Corps in 2019. That's whenever I transitioned from DOD healthcare to VA healthcare. And then at VA healthcare, I was prescribed sumatriptan. This really did work. I started having my migraines increased to about 4 or 5 times per month, and I would take a sumatriptan. What sucked about sumatriptan is it would knock me out, and I couldn't go to work. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't watch my kids. And so now I use this non-invasive treatment like GammaCore. You just take this thing off, put it there. It does a 2-minute treatment. I use it for preventative and when I have an onset of migraines. And that's it. So now and let me tell you what the C&P examiner hears, because they don't care about you. They don't know you. They're not invested in you. Here's what they heard. Okay, there's evidence from service in 2012 after a combat deployment. Okay. His evidence, the veteran's evidence is empty, but he does report continuous over-the-counter medication. So there's some continuity of symptoms there, or continuity of care. When the veteran was associated with the VA, he has been currently diagnosed. He's on multiple treatment plans. He tries multiple things, and we have a report of 4 to 5 migraines per month. Let me go ahead and check the prescription. Oh, this veteran's prescribed 9 sumatriptan pills per month, or whatever the GammaCore prescription is. Boom, everything checks out. This veteran is clearly service-connected. There you go. That is how you speak to a C&P examiner. That is how and you can use that template of a time frame in service, referencing your evidence. Don't talk about feelings. Don't talk about, maybe it happened last year. No. Take the time, understand your evidence, understand where your evidence is at, so that way you can, 1, be service connected, and 2, have the proper rating, especially for something that's as subjective as migraines. That's where prescriptions like these two are really going to come into play here. Now, really quick, I have a scheduled live stream. I'm going to pin that below in the comments. That's going to happen at the end of March with a representative from GammaCore. I'm very excited to share this treatment with you. I speak to a lot of veterans who don't like being overly medicated. The VA is very heavy-handed on medication. At least that's my opinion. You can have your own opinions about medication if you want. That's fine. I prefer more non-invasive type treatments. So stay tuned for that one.